Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show. And I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love.
This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved. Welcome back to another episode. This episode is focused on a call for service, answering the call to service. So, in every aspect of our life, oh, by the way, I'm Monica Bermudez. I am the host for this podcast. And starting off with this really deep, inspirational message that I wish to impart with you and share at the heart level. In every aspect of our life, we are always being guided by our higher guidance. And that guidance is always with us. And the biggest part of our higher guidance is connected to Source and our future self. It is the future self that has already overcome the pains, the suffering, the challenges, and is in a place of greater peace and empowerment within, living in that authentic self. And it's all part of our soul essence. So let's take a moment to feel into that at the heart level. So we are always evolving and expanding in different ways. Even scientists are finding the universe is expanding. In other words, it's not stagnant. And as part of the universe, that means that we're also evolving. So there is a deeper inner voice within you now, integrated as part of you, that is guiding and gently nudging you for a different and new direction. In other words, it's not stagnant, it's not still. And it's a call to service and support. It's a collective call to service that stems from Source and also Mother Earth to usher in these new light codes and frequencies on the planet. So you're here for a greater purpose, whether you believe this or not. And we need you more than ever. So, whatever doubt or fear you're feeling, let this episode be your activation, encouragement, and inspiration. The planet is in the shift now. I felt it early morning of December 31st, 2024, when I was just waking up. And you must be thinking, what a specific date. Well, it really left a strong impression on me and that I still feel to this moment. So it was very clear to me on that day. I felt the higher dimensional shift into another realm or world of new earth. So I really was not feeling like I was really here. It almost felt like very surreal. I felt like this the higher dimensional yet, like I saw there was chaos all around, but it was as if, I was watching from an observer's point of view, and my heart expanded into like this deeper compassion for all. And so I just started to get into this more of this meditative and like prayer mode. And so I've been continuing to do the ceremonial rituals to assist us in Earth through the grid systems and ley lines as a conduit of cosmic energies to usher in this new era on Earth. And in every moment, I felt others on the planet also doing the same thing. So I felt the quantum field connection with one another, working collectively in different time zones and different lands. And although not knowing one another physically, we knew each other at the heart in the quantum field. So it was just a matter of like, um, we did this with the trust in our hearts of our own source connection. So essentially, it's about our relationship with the God in our hearts, which is connected to the greater source of all that is. It's what many cosmic mastery and avatars are well aware of and are in tune with. A potential that you have to be, as Cosmic Master Joshua once said, be like me and more. So in mysticism, there is a reference that is often said, which says to be being an unknown amongst the unknown. Now, this is not to be confused with hiding yourself or to be unseen or to be in poverty in any way. Is it being implied in that way? So I'm going to elaborate a little more what is meant by this. So, hence, going back to like some of the files of poverty that I've been so actively dissolving in myself, and I have it as a mission to also help others dissolve it for themselves. Um, but it's a pattern that no longer serves us. And to be authentic is really to be abundant. And I'll repeat that again. To be authentic is to be in abundant. So the phrase to be an unknown amongst the unknown is often associated with mysticism, spirituality, and a deeper understanding of self and existence. It's about embracing the mystery of life. Life, the universe, and the self are all part of an eternal mystery. This is the acceptance of not knowing everything and doing okay with uncertainty. To be an unknown signifies not clinging to the ego, the need to be identified, or the urge to define everything in simple terms. Being amongst the unknown suggests that one is at peace with the vastness of the mysteries around them. And it's about ego transcendence, transcending the ego, the self constructed identity that separates us from others and from the divine. So, saying this phrase implies the shedding the sense of individual importance or definition. And it suggests living in humility without the need to be labeled or recognized by the external world. In this sense, mystics often focus on this spiritual unity with one another. And it's about living beyond dualities or transcending the dualities like known or unknown, self or other, or good or evil. So, mystics often seek to go beyond these separations and experience life in a state of pure presence. So, to say this phrase means that the pursuit of unity with the infinite, where distinctions fade and everything is interconnected. And it's about surrendering to the divine. So life is beautiful as it is. And at the same time, it is a divine mystery, one that cannot be fully understood or controlled by the rational mind. To be an unknown amongst the unknown reflects a sense of surrender, letting go of the need for certainty, control, and answers for everything, and instead being open to whatever unfolds in a state of trust or devotion to the divine. And that is, the God of your own heart and connection to that, greater higher calling that you're feeling in reference to being of service. So there is, much more to the vastness of who we are at the soul level. So it's about living authentically and without the attachment. It is a tricky business, right? To be in attachment, especially in the material world, in the physical world. And as I've shared, with someone just recently that was at a retreat and event, um, that in Kabbalah, it is said that and it's referenced anywhere else, also in the ancient wisdom and information that, has been carried within our cells that is part of our own remembrance as well, that we are 99% spiritual and 1% physical. So the majority of what we are, I would say, is energy. So that's really where, being in the attachment, obviously, we get attached and it is natural state of us being in these physical bodies, but it is an art as well as to be able to attach but detach. And I've talked about different topics around this as well. So it's not to sound, that you don't care in that way or to be incompassionate in any way. So when, you're living authentically, um, then it's to be free of these societal pressures or expectations, right? Sometimes we set these expectations on ourselves and also with others. And sometimes, that we get so attached to that expectation that we expect others to be a certain way. And um, it's not really about control on anybody else, or trying to control a situation or control others in any way, but it is really just being and understanding that we're all just um, experiencing different, situations and challenges in that way. And in those, experiences and challenges that we're having, we're learning from them. And so everybody's going to have their own trajectory, journey, or path of their own experience. And when they choose to also be in that unity consciousness or understand or feel into it, because it's more than just the rational mind. So, in a world that often values fame, recognition, and certainty, there is comfort in feeling true peace and being comfortable as an unknown without attachments to external validations or identities. So, I feel like, our true validation is really the one that we hold within ourselves. So many, many people, all of us, right? Even myself, will carry our own perception, and that perception is based on our own experience. So there may be words, right, that we may say to each other that may trigger one another. And when I say trigger, I mean activation. So some people with the word trigger can associate it to be something negative. That's an example. And where I'm putting it in is that you can look at it from a different perspective and say that this is what is activating something inside of me that could be a pattern, an old pattern that just no longer serves. And that is that reflection of one another, right? That relationship that we have with one another, and that reflection is also with Earth, is with the universe. And so with everything, with all of us being so interconnected, is, where is this coming from? And why am I feeling so triggered, so activated by this one word? And it could be associated with certain like trauma that we may have been grilled with, growing up. And not realizing sometimes that we may pick up certain things subconsciously if not, taken care of in the moment. So there are many things that have their root connection and cause when they came about, for it to create this type of fear or doubt in us as well. Our cells also carry a lot of memory. And I'm not talking just about the physical cell, I'm talking about going into the quantum subatomic level of our cells that is interconnected with all, I would say, like almost like the Akashic records of everything that is interconnected. So it knows our soul journey that has explored the different human lifetimes, but also the different galactic lifetimes that we've had. So our true wisdom often lies in embracing the uncertainty rather than trying to control or define everything. And these are just words of wisdom to share with you for inspiration. It does not mean that the issues and challenges are being ignored in any way. Everybody who is here on earth is serving a greater purpose through our own actions of weaving our creative magic together and individually. So take a moment each day to be with your higher calling, to be of service in different ways, whether it is doing your own rituals or just being a role model or being a voice of change in public. What matters is that you trust yourself and believe in yourself because you carry that source, that God within you and the universe within you, which is an even greater force of power of your own creativity. We are in the shift of the collective consciousness. So this means to be called to contribute by helping raise the vibration of the planet. And this starts with you. So, being of service, like if you're suffering or in pain, obviously it's very challenging, right, to be a service to others. It's important to be a service to yourself as well first, to be able to find your own way of healing yourself or just pretty much restoring yourself, because I know like the word healing is used a lot, but really you already are whole and complete within the soul level of your being and your essence. And so what happens is, because we're such a combination of so many things, right, of our thoughts, of our emotions, and so all of that gets all mixed in, right? And so it's all about just digging in and going in deep within your own higher self, your intuition, and really just tuning in to you and facilitating or helping yourself to restore yourself. So I really like to use the word restoration. um, so as more of us awaken and understand and feel the interconnectedness that we are, we evolve together. And that is the shift that I felt, because it is more than just our rational brain. It's about sensing it. So when I say feel, I'm not really talking about emotions here. I'm talking about like clairsentient ability to sense intuitively beyond our physical senses. And where I feel it the most though is in my heart, that it does feel like this resonance, it's like a resonance of frequencies of energies that are just coming together harmoniously. And that is the best way for me to describe that feeling. So the call to service is to align with this global shift. And the more we give in service, the more we open ourselves to the universal flow of abundance. So we'd love to hear your comments to what you're being called right now. So just know that you matter and you're being called to contribute in your own way. So with love and gratitude, I will catch you in the quantum field.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.